Welcome back to BrainTap Business Journal. This is Dr. Patrick Porter, and today I have a very special guest, someone who blew our doctors away at the summit in Raleigh this year. And I felt it was so compelling that we needed to get it out to the rest of you. If you're wondering how to market on social media, how to get likes on your videos, how to get noticed, and really what we're talking about here is becoming Facebook famous, then we have the expert here. So Jonathan Jakes, why don't you go ahead and take over? Tell us how we do these things. We're calling it viral secrets. So welcome to the show. Come on and educate us here today.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me, Dr. Porter. Great to be back with your group again. They were amazing at the summit. And I have a really cool presentation for you guys today to really help you through this process of getting your message out there on social media. So I'll kind of kick it off with a quick video just so you can learn a little bit about my background and just see a little of what I've done on social media. So here we go.
Is this really what I'm passionate about? Is this what I was put on earth to do? This is Michael B. Jordan. Michael, say hello to everyone tuning in.
Hello, everybody at home.
We're going to send you to see Stevie Wonder live in concert. You've played some of the biggest hero roles ever. How's this film different?
I don't want to hold it.
$500.
And Michael's strength is that you like him, and so you're on board with his journey.
Failure is not an option. You have to keep moving forward, and the way to beat pain is with progress.
So I'm not sure if you noticed there, especially if you're listening along on the podcast, but I just showed a series of video clips, and every single one of them, with the exception of 3, has over 1 million views. And some of the videos that actually weren't posted on my page don't have over 1 million, but some of those clips there are from my work with the Ellen DeGeneres Show. I got to travel the country with Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone to promote the Creed movies. I've worked with a number of brands, everyone from Disney to Anheuser-Busch to Sony Pictures, helping them produce some of the most viral content on the internet. So those are some of the cool things that I've done. And I think one of the most exciting things for me anyway is that my videos last year did over 100 million views on social media, which is pretty exciting. And this year's Super Bowl, if you look at the total viewership, it was 98.2 million people. And advertisers actually invested $5.25 million just for a 30-second TV slot. So my videos last year did more views than the Super Bowl, and I only spent about a couple $100 to promote them because 99.1% of my traffic is all organic. I use a lot of free distribution strategies, which we'll touch on a little bit here to get a lot of people engaged and watching my content. So as Dr. Porter kind of mentioned, today we're going to be doing a really cool presentation, and I'll be revealing how I got Dr. Porter himself to go viral. We got him 364,669 views on just one of his videos. And I also want to show you how you can use the power of Facebook to potentially triple your BrainTap business or your practice this year. So jumping into it, I just want you to think about this. What if I could, in the next, let's say 30, 40 minutes, actually show you how to get millions of people to know you, like you, and trust you? What if I could also show you how to sell this BrainTap technology to the masses? And finally, what if I could teach you in this time we have together how to leverage this following that I help you build to live the life of your dreams, to potentially make 5 figures for a single post on social media, to travel first class for free, and to position yourself as an expert in this space. So if you're on board with that, listen in carefully and get ready to take some notes because we have a lot planned for you. I know we don't have much time, but I really kind of boiled it down to 3 main secrets that I really need you to have an understanding of by the time you walk away from this presentation. And secret number 1 is this, right? The most profitable channel that you can use to grow your BrainTap business this year is social media. Done, period, end of story. This is the most cost-effective way for you to get your message out to millions. Secret number 2, content is only 30% of the battle. And simply posting consistent content is actually not enough to grow a big following, which surprises a lot of people, and I'll tell you more about that. Secret number 3 is that anyone, and I mean anyone, you'll see some pretty crazy examples throughout this presentation, anyone can go viral. The key is distribution. It all comes down to getting this piece of content in the right people's hands. And if you can do that, my goodness, you can go viral just about every single time. And that's how I've had literally dozens of videos achieve over 1 million views, because there is a formula and a strategy to it. So I'll just give you a little bit about my background, because, kind of starting off here, you hear about, some really cool things like Ellen and, touring with Sylvester Stallone and all these experiences that I've been able to do because of social media. But I'll tell you right now, it didn't start that way. A couple years ago, I started a company of my own. I was working in advertising before that. And I said, you know what, I'm going to go out on my own. I've figured this game out. Let me build a company to help brands connect with live stream personalities, right? And we're going to essentially run live stream campaigns. So this is right around the time that Facebook Live and Periscope were just launching. And you guys might be familiar with those platforms and features. So we started this company. This is a picture of my co-founder and I, if you're watching along on the webinar. We're celebrating our first check. We were so excited. It was like a $5,000 check, the first deal that came in. And after we kind of proved this out a little bit, we ended up raising $250,000 from an investor to grow and scale this company, which was really exciting. So things were going great. We closed some really big deals early on with Bose and Verizon and Kate Spade, some really awesome brands. But unfortunately, there was a day where the company bank account literally hit $0. And we really found out that the math just wasn't there. The deal sizes were too small. The market perhaps wasn't really ready for live streaming at that time. And I had to live out my worst nightmare as an entrepreneur. And I know many of you are running your own businesses, and this is probably your biggest fear too. I had to literally look this entire team in the eyes, right? All these people who believed in me and left their safe jobs to jump on board and support my mission. And I had to tell these people that I just didn't see a way out of this thing. We were working 18-hour days. I was trying to raise more money to keep this thing afloat, and just nothing was working. And so this is actually a picture of me the very last time. It's a depressing picture. The very last time, literally moments before I locked up those office doors for good. I had to fire everyone. And that was just the beginning of this story, because I decided to actually drain my personal bank account, my investor back, and also ensure that all the employees were taken care of. Because, I think probably the way I was raised, I just think you can always make more money. You can't always find people who believe in you to that extent. And I think it's really important to do the right thing and take care of people. So I put myself in a really tough spot. For like 7-8 months, I was depressed. I didn't really know what to do. You go from like CEO to nobody overnight. And it's very hard, I think, to find that next thing right away. And so that leads us to secret number 1. So essentially, I had this epiphany, right? I had a lot more free time because I was out of work, and I spent more time on social media. One of the things that I noticed is that there were all these people just popping up, building these huge followings in a very short period of time. And I came to the realization that through social media, you can not only impact a ton of people, but you can also make a lot of money in that process. And for me, that's a mission that I wanted to align myself with. And that was really the goal, is to, hopefully inspire a lot of people, bring more positivity to the world, but at the same time, be able to take care of myself and, actually run a successful business. So secret number 1 for you, in case you missed it the first time, is the most profitable channel you can use to grow your BrainTap business or your practice is social media. And you might want to write that one down. It's very, very important to understand. So let me show you, as I was sitting there in my apartment in New York, scrolling through my news feed. Here's what I was looking at. I saw this guy named Gary Vaynerchuk go from charging $5,000 per speaking engagement to over $100,000 every time he walks on stage because of this following he built on social media. I saw a gentleman named Casey Neistat sell his failing app, by the way, to CNN for $15 million. Not because CNN wanted to acquire the app, they wanted to acquire him because of this following that he's built. Then I saw Lewis Howes, who's become a really good friend of mine, become a New York Times best-selling author essentially overnight, because as soon as his book came out, all of his followers went and bought the book because of social media. I saw a 23-year-old guy named Logan Paul make over 20 million bucks selling t-shirts, hats, backpacks to his following. And now you might have actually heard of the 7-year-old kid, Ryan Toys, who did over $20 million last year because of his audience on YouTube, which is insane. I don't see any other industry where you have a 7-year-old kid doing those kind of numbers. And it's really all possible because of social media. A couple more, Lost LeBlanc. This guy quit his job in finance, travels the world, literally gets paid to stay in 5-star hotels, travel first class for free. It's amazing. And then finally, and this is the grossest one, Dr. Pimple Popper, a regular dermatologist who all of a sudden decided to make these cell phone videos of her doing her procedures. And they're gross videos, so I don't want to show them, but they're literally her popping people's zits on camera. Well, guess what? Might sound crazy. She now has millions of followers, and TLC offered her a television show because of this audience on social media. So think about that. How cool is that? That she's a dermatologist, right? She's essentially in your world of, practitioners and medical practitioners, chiropractors. I mean, she's helping people, right, overcome their challenges, their problems. And all of a sudden, boom, next thing you know it, she has a TV show on TLC because of her following. So I was inspired by that. I said, hey, you know what? If these people can do it, I can probably go out there and do it too. And now I'm actually living it. I have travel companies that reach out to me all the time. They're offering me free trips, free helicopter rides around New York City, all these amazing experiences because I have this following. And the benefit for them is if I just tag them in that post, all of a sudden, boom, they get more business, they get more leads, they raise more awareness for their brands. As a result, I've also, a few months back, actually got to work with the American Red Cross, just one of the campaigns that I've done recently. They paid me $12,250 literally to film a video, which took about an hour, and post it on my account, which is pretty wild. And then on top of that, I started a business online literally a few weeks ago. Here are the screenshots from my first week out of the gate in business. So we have one, $1,500 the first day we went live, $3,600, $2,000, $1,500, $3,000. It goes on and on. And this is every day. This is money that comes in on autopilot while I sleep, literally while I'm talking to you. My phone's going off and we have orders coming in nonstop. And it's all because of Facebook. I didn't have a previous list. I didn't have a customer base. I have never marketed to these specific markets before. And this is all literally from scratch by turning on the ads. And so I don't tell you this to brag. It's not the kind of person I am, especially if you actually watch some of my content and videos on social media. But I do tell you this to hopefully inspire you and to get you thinking a little bit bigger about social media, because the possibilities are endless. Your goal might not be to travel the world or step on a red carpet with Chris Hemsworth, but you can absolutely do some amazing things, and you never know who's watching on the other side of that screen, which is so incredible. So I want to tell you a pretty cool story, and this is something that I identified right before the BrainTap Summit. Dr. Porter, I noticed a lot of your people love BrainTap, right? I mean, a lot of the people are users themselves. Are they not? Have you found that to be true?
Yes, of course. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one of the things I noticed is everyone loves the product. We get that it works. I actually tried it on for the first time when we were there in North Carolina. I thought it was amazing. I also believe that the customer has a tremendous need for it, Right now, people are like hamsters on a wheel, just going over and over again through the same routines. They don't take the time to rest, to reboot. And the fact that you have this device that literally can revamp someone's brain in like 22 minutes it's unlike anything I've ever seen, right? I was, using the Calm app very religiously, every single day, and it pales in comparison to what you guys are doing with BrainTap. So I say this because I think this is your biggest challenge that I've identified. We have the product, it's sound, it works. We have the customer and the need, and they have the money, believe me. I think the biggest hurdle, and it's an easy problem to solve, is just to bridge that gap, right? How can we get more people to know about BrainTap? Because if you guys went out and, you jumped in an airport and all of a sudden you put on that headset, people will look at you like you're from another planet, right? But as soon as people understand what this is and what this does, and as soon as this becomes, essentially more mainstream, people are going to get it. And I think the best way for you guys to bridge that gap, to educate people at scale, is to leverage social media, right? Because it's one thing to sit someone down one-on-one in your office, but that takes a lot of time, right? You can only talk to so many people at once. But if you're doing this and you create one video that reaches, let's say, 1 million people, now all of a sudden you have 1 million people that know about BrainTap, that get it, that really understand the value. And that's why I think social media is absolutely the best thing that you can focus on to grow your business this year. So I have Elon Musk on the screen if you guys are watching on the webinar. And one crazy thing that I found out about Elon Musk, which has just resurfaced in the news recently, is that back in 2014, he actually released all of the patents for Tesla. I'll say that again in case you missed it. He released all of the patents, forfeited all of the patents for Tesla. Now, you might be thinking, so hold on a second. If I wanted to start an electric car company tomorrow, I could literally steal Tesla's technology for the batteries and the other technology that they put in their cars. That's exactly what I'm telling you. That's what he did. And so hearing that at first glance, you're probably like, well, why the heck would he do that, right? Why would they give up their control of these patents, which protects them from competition? Well, the reason he did it is because Elon Musk understands this principle that I just mentioned to you. Elon Musk knows that the more people who are pushing this technology of electric vehicles, the more companies that come out with electric vehicles, they're going to educate the consumer. They're going to spend money probably on TV, on social media, all across the board to educate that consumer, and they're going to bridge that gap. And the more people that know about electric vehicles and the more desire that's built for them, the more money the entire industry makes and the more money Elon Musk makes as a result. Because Elon understands that his competition is not other electric vehicle companies. His competition are the companies that are producing gasoline cars. And so if he can flip the dial over to get people to make that switch to electric, yes, the other electric car companies will make money, but Tesla's going to make more money because the whole market increases. And that's exactly the same thing here. Your friends, your neighbors who are going out there and pushing BrainTap and presenting it to their clients, they're not your competitors, right? These are your allies. This is your army to go out there and educate the consumers, because the more people who understand what that headset does, the more money everyone's going to make as a result. It's really important to understand. Secret number 2, content is only 30% of the battle. And I'll go quickly with this one, but simply posting consistent content is not enough to grow an audience on social media. And so here's what I mean by that. When I first started, I didn't understand this concept. I typed into Google, how do you grow a social media following? At that time, I was broke, in debt, because of this company. I didn't have a camera. I had to actually borrow money from my parents to buy my first camera. I didn't know how to use the camera. I didn't know how to edit videos. So this was a process, but I just one day decided, hey, I'm going to buy this camera and I'm going to make my first video by that night. And I went out and I just started learning the hard way, essentially. Well, one of the things that I saw over and over again in articles is if you want to grow a social media following, it's all about posting consistent content. These articles, the headlines are, why content will always be king, how to build a social media community, content and collaboration. All these people talking about content, right? And so if you essentially post enough content, something will eventually stick. And that's what these articles were saying. So you put out enough videos over time, soon enough, boom, you'll have that viral hit. Well, guess what? I tried that strategy for 8 months. I went out and literally almost every day for 8 months, I put out a video. Now, we're talking 7 videos just about every week. And at the end of 8 months, there's my traffic graph. If you're following along, it's a flat line. Nothing happened. I would get, if I was lucky, like a couple hundred views per video. And that was a good video. And I was literally so close to quitting at this. I was ready to give up because I had no money. I was doing like little consulting projects and things to survive while I tried to live out this dream. And so I finally said, you know what, I'm going to just try one more time. We're going to give it one last push. I started testing a bunch of things, and I'll tell you a lot of the things that I tested, literally hundreds of different variations of video lengths and video formats and all these different strategies. And sure enough, you can take a look at that traffic graph there. I went from 2,000 friends on Facebook to over 800,000 fans in 10 months. And on top of that, I was working smarter and not harder. I went from 7 videos per week, which was a full-time job, to just 1 video per week. I went from taking 16 hours to edit 1 video to bringing that creation process down to like 30 minutes, right? And this was all through testing and all through learning. And so I want to share a lot of those secrets that I learned with you today. So when I talk about content being 30% of the battle, I think a lot of people get hung up when they're trying to build these followings. They think, well, maybe I don't look the right way, or maybe I didn't say the right thing, or, maybe whatever, right? Like maybe this video is just not perfect yet. I'm telling you guys, just get it out there. And I'll tell you the real secret if you want to make anything go viral. But let's take a look at one thing right here on the screen. I'll give you a quick clip of the video that we did with Dr. Porter. And this video got 364,669 views in 8 days. So here's a quick clip.
Hi, this is Dr. Patrick Porter. Real quick, I want you to think about your typical day. When you're sitting at your desk or running errands, do you often feel sluggish or forgetful or distracted?
So there's his video. That's just the intro to it. And all of a sudden, in about a week, 364,000 views on this video. And Dr. Porter, I don't know if you want to comment a little bit on this process and just what we went through to produce this result.
Well, yeah, we had a conversation. You told me basically what to do. We spent about, I guess, 20 to 30 minutes going over some strategies. I went off with Andrew. We produced it, and I know we didn't do it perfect, but you said, let's try it anyway, because we thought we were going to have our conference in September, but the hurricane came along, but we still ran this because the hurricane wasn't here yet to show the people that were coming to the conference. And I was shocked. I mean, we put it out there and it did its thing.
And what was one of the things I said? Because I think you were kind of going for that perfectionist approach at first, right? What was the lesson there for everyone?
Well, I think that you told me mine might be too professional looking. I needed to be more homesy. And so, I mean, we set up all of our lights, our equipment, and did it in our video room, and spent way too much time putting it together. And I think that when they see some of the other videos, once I saw some of the others, I'm going, wow. Yeah, I think that the message is, like you said, about 30%. I mean, this is something that I probably posted online many times before this in different ways, but never had even more than a couple hundred views.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so that's the key takeaway here, everyone listening in. The content's only 30% of it, right? So many people stress. Dr. Porter was, pulling out lighting kits and all these crazy things. I'm telling you, the more authentic and real you are, the more successful you will be. People don't want to watch commercials. They don't want to watch an ad. They want to watch something that inspires them and creates an emotional connection with you as the content creator. And so that's why stop stressing so much about the content. It's not about that. If you know how to distribute it, which is one thing I'll talk about in a few minutes, everything will change. I can take just about anyone's video out there and turn it into a viral hit because of the fact that I understand the distribution side of things. So Dr. Porter, I wanted to kind of just give them a little bit more because I have a little more time than we did at the BrainTap Summit. So let's just quickly walk through some of the things that we talked about on that 30-minute consulting call. One of the first things that I told you is to add a headline. Do you remember this one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we came up with this: doctor reveals secret to get good sleep. Probably even should be getting good sleep. We might even have, a little bit of a grammatical error. Doesn't matter, guys. It's still reached a ton of people. So here's the thing, right? Facebook, Instagram, especially, these are interruptive platforms. People are scrolling through a news feed, right? And if you can't capture their attention instantly, they're just going to scroll past you. They're not going to take in your information. They'll never learn about BrainTap or what your practice is doing or anything like that. And so one of the things that I've tested extensively is using a very simple, intriguing headline so that at first glance, without watching your whole 2 to 3 minute video, a person says, oh, okay, this video is about how to get good sleep. Great. Let me go check this out. That caught my attention. They stop scrolling and they start watching your video. So the headline is key. You have to stop viewers dead in their tracks. And if you're listening on the podcast, what we're talking about, and you might have seen these, are these black bars on the top and bottom of a video. This is very common on Facebook. I wouldn't say very common, but the smart people, the people who really have millions of views, typically use this strategy. So you create these black bars, this space on the top and bottom of the video, and you write a headline over it that very quickly, in less than 6 words or so, tells what that video is going to be about. And that's what gets people to stop scrolling. The second thing that also stops people dead in their tracks is the thumbnail. Now, the thumbnail is an image, right, that you place, and it's going to be the image that Facebook or whatever social media platform you're using shows first. So before the video even starts playing, if it's what they call a click to play video, which I don't want to get too complicated into the technical, but if someone has to click into your video, the thumbnail is going to be the first thing that captures their attention to get them to actually click in. So understand this: when you're creating videos, when you're putting out content there, you want the thumbnail to be the most engaging second of that video. The most engaging single frame of that video needs to be your thumbnail. And I recommend this if you're taking notes. You want something that's action-based, and you want something that massively piques curiosity. So with this thumbnail right here, we have Dr. Porter there. He's literally mid removal of the BrainTap headset. He's just about to flip up the lens part. And because it's this, cool looking headset, it looks futuristic, instantly someone scrolling through their newsfeed says, hold on a second, what's going on here in this video? And then they go ahead, they look further. The second thing they're going to see, actually, I might have flipped the order the first time I said it. First, they see the image, then they see the quick headline that you wrote. And if all of that looks good, that's when they stop and watch your video. Very important. Quick tip number 2 for you. And again, these strategies can be applied to any video that you put out on social media. So this is called my hook the universe strategy. Here's the thing that a lot of people miss, right? As marketers, and I've been studying internet marketing since I was 14 years old, one of the things that you're told over and over again is to find your niche, especially if you're a direct response marketer. Find your niche, right? Find this very passionate group of people and get to know them, build that relationship. And as a result, if you take care of those people, you're going to make a bunch of money. And that's true. And believe me, it works. Okay. But not if your goal is to go viral. Okay. Here's what I mean. If I all of a sudden talk about this very niche thing that no one does, right? And I start off the video with that, and that's in my headline, and it's so niche that no one gets it, you're playing and speaking to a very small audience. And I can't even really think of an example like this off the top of my head. But if you said, you know, hey, have you ever been to Antarctica, for example, right? There aren't a lot of people who have been to Antarctica. Therefore, they're just going to pass you by. It's too small of an audience that you're talking to. And so what you want to do if you want to go viral is you need to, number one, make your message mainstream. And number two, in the first 3 seconds of that video, you have to set the hook and pull them into this experience. And it needs to be a hook that applies to the most people possible. Okay? And so Dr. Porter, our first 3-second hook was him with this headset on, which gets people to stop and say, hold on, what's going on here? And then just a few seconds later, he uses this. Do you often feel sluggish or forgetful or distracted? Now think about that. That's like most of the world, right? Of course, people feel sluggish all the time, you know? People feel distracted all the time. You know, ADHD is off the charts right now. Doctors prescribing a ton of medications. This is a huge problem that people face. So as someone scrolling through this, this is going to pull them into the conversation, right? If we did a very specific hook, I guarantee you this video would not have over 364,000 views. And by the way, the video itself also has over 1,200 shares. How cool is that? Some of your videos, if you're listening in right now, don't even have 1,200 views. Dr. Porter had 1,200 people that liked his video so much, they shared it with all of their friends and all of their family members on Facebook. And if you can do that, right, if you can put out a message that people not only stop to watch but feel compelled to share, that's how you create this viral effect. Okay, tip number 3, why you're losing 50% of your audience. Huge mistake. This is a simple little thing that cost me like $5 to get done for me, and no one does it. People don't like taking the extra step, and that is this. You need to add captions or subtitles, whatever you want to call them, to your videos. So here's the deal. If you look at the data, 53% of viewers on Facebook consume content with the sound off. And why is that? Well, that's because they're at school, they're at work, they're on the toilet, you know, they're watching videos when they shouldn't be. And Facebook knows that. And so that's why the news feed, when you scroll through on your phone, doesn't just blast sounds off left and right. That'd be really annoying and interruptive. But it does autoplay these videos with the sound off. So if you have a video with you moving your lips and talking, and there aren't subtitles there, people can't even consume your message. And so many people miss this. I'm telling you, you're literally losing 53% of your audience if you don't have subtitles on your video. And there are exceptions to this. If it's like a basketball clip and someone's draining a 3-point, buzzer beater, yeah, you can tell what's going on. You don't need subtitles for that. But your videos aren't going to likely be basketball clips or something action-based. They're going to be you delivering information. Got to have subtitles there. Very important. Tip number 4, and we'll start to ramp up the pace here because I do want to keep this concise, although I do have a lot to give you. But tip number 4 is this, the must-have calls to action for virality. So listen, when someone gets to the end of your video, most people, when they make that video, literally just say, hey, thanks so much for watching, and then the screen goes black, and that's it. There's no call to action. There's nothing for that viewer to do. And if you don't request action, no action will be taken. And so the 2 things, if you want to go viral specifically, that you must have at the end of your video, you need to get people to share that video, and you need to get people to like your Facebook page for more. And so if they do that, Number one, they share. It goes out to all their friends and family members in the Facebook newsfeed. Number two, if they like your page, that's how you grow your following very quickly. And that's how you keep in touch and nurture this audience long term to convert these viewers into fans and then fans into ideally clients and customers, right? And so that's what we're going for. You don't want to send people to your phone number. You don't want to send people to your website. If you want this video to go viral, you need to encourage shareability. There's a time and a place for driving someone to a website. It absolutely works, but we're not talking ads here in this particular call. We are talking how to get your message out to the masses, okay? Secret number 3 is that anyone, and I mean anyone, can go viral. The key is distribution. And I mentioned this before. It's literally all about turning on the faucet and being able to drive massive amounts of people to your piece of content. This is the other 70% of the pie. You know, I can take a crummy video, and I'm sure you've seen, you know, weird kind of cat videos and weird, you know, they call them memes, if you're familiar with that term. They go viral. And some of this stuff, you look at it and you're like, this is like a weird, goofy video. I don't understand how this has 3 million views on it. I'm telling you, it's because of distribution. They got it into the right hands. They knew how to turn on the faucet and drive massive amounts of people to that piece of content. So very important. And this is something really cool I wanted to share with you. So literally, and on Dr. Porter, I don't even know if you've seen this video. At the event, you were gracious enough to kind of give me more time with everyone. And so I did a bonus session after my presentation at the end of the day. And we literally, during this bonus session, took one of the chiropractors in the room, Dr. Teresa Berry, who is now one of my students. I'm honored to call her a student of mine. We're working together now. I'm helping her with this. Well, we took her, we came up with a concept. We came up with a loose script of loose talking points. I took out my cell phone, and in literally like 3 takes, she delivered this video I'm going to show you right now. I went to my room later that night. I edited that video very quickly. Took me like probably 20 minutes. I posted it on her Facebook page, which only had about 200 fans on that page. And sure enough, I think as soon as I said it live and actually turned on that faucet, I think in the first 24 to 48 hours, she ended up with 96,000 views on this particular video that I'm going to show you. On top of that, she had, I think, 150 people share this video and start to get it out there, start to create that viral effect. And this video itself, and one of the things that I told her, she wanted to promote BrainTap. This video is more designed like an ad. So it wasn't even really set up for viral success, but she said, hey, can we just use BrainTap as an example? Dr. Porter's was more set up for virality using BrainTap. Her call to action was literally trying to get people to her affiliate link so that they can do a free trial of BrainTap. And so as a result, she had people from all over the world sending her messages on Facebook to get these free trials going so that they can try out the audios and see how this works. So take a look at the video. It's only about 1.5 minutes, and you'll see what we did.
Back pain, neck pain, knee pain. Hi, I'm Dr. Teresa Berry. I'm a neurological-based chiropractor, and I've been in business for over 30 years. I'd like to tell you a story about what drew me into chiropractic. I've been an athlete all my life and managed to injure myself and have developed terrible knee pain while playing golf. And for me, that's relaxation. That's quality of life. So not being able to get out on the golf course was devastating. But I found a solution. I found this wonderful little gadget that when used on a daily basis helps to reboot my brain. And you have to understand that pain is a signal from the brain that something's wrong. So pain actually lives in the brain. And this little instrument, this BrainTap, helps to reboot that and knock that signal out so that you can live pain-free. If you're experiencing pain at home, I'd love to help. For a free trial, send me a message on Facebook.
So how awesome is that, right? Her first time out of the gate doing this, and all of a sudden over 96,000 views. Very simple message. We brainstormed this entire video in probably 20 to 30 minutes on the fly. Very, very difficult to do, by the way. And all of a sudden this went on and got her more views than literally her entire page had combined in the past. So really, really exciting. I'll show you another example, another one of my students, not in your group, Dr. Porter, but this is Dr. Katie Harris, brilliant woman. She is an RN. She's also a doctor. She also has her MBA. And here's some of the things that she experienced after going through everything that I shared with her.
One of the first really exciting milestones that I had was reaching 5,000 views on a video, which is a huge start, and it's huge for me because I've had maybe like 50 views. So having 5,000 was absolutely just, knocked me off my feet, and I was so excited because I knew it was just the beginning. It's just a simple thing that I could do using John Jakes' system. And the other thing I was able to do was get 34,000 likes on my Facebook page. And that has been absolutely amazing. Having that credibility on my Facebook page is a game changer. And it's just starting. It's just going to go up from here. And, thank you, John, so much. I love taking your course. It was so simple, so easy to do. And, even I could do it. So thank you so much.
So Dr. Porter, I realized that we're just about out of time, and I could keep going for hours on this. I would really love to share everything in my head, but you're talking about, 7 years of experience in doing this stuff. Is it all right if we tell them about, how to get more information if they're actually interested in doing this and growing their audience and, being able to monetize with BrainTap?
Oh, yes. I think this is one of the key areas when our help desk is talking to our doctors and our business growth advisors. They want to know how to do social media. We don't know how to do it. You do, sure. So please share.
Okay, so we'll go through this pretty quickly. I don't want to take up too much time. But what I actually did over the last 8 months was basically take everything that's in my head about how to do this and how to streamline this process, actually showing you what works. And I put it into what I call my Facebook famous system. So check this out. I kick it off with the fundamentals. This is a really hands-on, step-by-step video course. You go at your own pace. It's very easy to implement. You watch a training, you click the buttons on your own Facebook page, and it's done. So we start with the fundamentals. I teach you the very basics. I've had people take this entire course who literally didn't even have a Facebook profile before they started. Never mind a Facebook page. They didn't even know what any of this stuff was. And now they're just thriving on social media. So I take it from a very basic level because I have people of all skill levels from around the world who actually go ahead and go through this process. Then I teach you how to optimize your Facebook page. And this is so important because a lot of you have Facebook pages that are set up right now. You might have a video, let's say it's a viral hit. You got 1 million views tomorrow. Well, then people go to learn more on your page. And most of your pages aren't set up for conversion. They're not designed to turn that viewer into a fan. So I teach you how to do that. We then go into content secrets. This is very important, especially for beginners, because like I said, so many people get caught up on the content part of things, right? A lot of people are scared like I was at first talking in front of the camera. I might seem like I know what I'm talking about now, but when I first started this, I walked out on the streets of New York City with my video camera and I was fumbling my words. I had to do it over 50 times. So there are modules in here that tell you how to get over that fear, that kind of walk you through this process, that help you understand when to post, how often to post, what you should be posting. I help you find your content theme so that you can choose a topic that's going to sustain long term. And for many of you, probably BrainTap will be involved in that conversation and in that theme. For many of you, you might be sharing different health and wellness tips for how people can live pain-free, and that will be your theme. But I help you really solidify that and kind of your mission online. Then we go into free distribution strategies. So I've literally done tens of millions of views, like I said, without spending any money on advertising. This is free organic traffic. I break it down for you exactly what I did to basically create like a TV network in my pocket. Anytime I want to, post a video and reach my following, I can go ahead and do that. And I show you how to build that for yourself. Now, if you don't want to wait, right, if you want results like literally 30 minutes from now, I have an entire section called paid distribution, where I show you how to leverage Facebook ads, how to leverage the news feed, and how to actually pay to play so that you can not only gain more viewers on your videos, but more fans on your page. And then I cap it off with proven revenue streams. I teach you the 4 easiest and best ways to make money once you have this following that I teach you how to build. So all of this here, I mean, this is like my life's work, right? The total value of everything is $6,332. And you get all the training modules. Like I said, you get 24/7 digital access. You just log in, you watch the private videos, just like watching a YouTube video. It's very, very simple. Now, I also put together some cool bonuses because social media is always changing and I'm always evolving with it, right? So anytime I find something that I really like that works, I basically turn it into a bonus. So bonus number 1 is this, the 30,000 fans in 30 days quick start webinar. I outline 5 to-do list items in this bonus. And if you check those items off your list, there is no doubt that you will have 30,000 fans in your first 30 days doing this. Think about that. Imagine if a month from now you look back, you have 30,000 people who didn't know who you were before now following you on Facebook. And that's really the power of this. And I have students who do, some of them 2 or 3 times that in their first 30 days because they're really bullish on this and they really step on the gas. Bonus number 2. So I have a coaching group right now. Everyone invested a minimum of $1,500 to be a part of it. I actually put together the 3 greatest calls. I call it my 3 greatest hits coaching webinars. You're going to get the 3 best calls for free as a part of this package. That's an $847 value. Bonus number 3, this is my favorite one of all. I love what we did here. It's called the Road to 1 Million Views. And I won't tell you too much about it yet. I'll let my student Lawrence tell you more about it right now.
As a direct result of your course, by holding my hand every step of the way with your online training, I was able to build a business page that within 6 weeks has got over 56,000 likes and new followers from a page that started at 0. Incredible. Also, I put my first video on that page that got 33,000 views within 2 weeks. The second video that I put on that page got 31,000 views within 7 days.
So 0 to 56,000 fans in 6 weeks using the exact same system that I just told you about, Facebook Famous. Now, he also hired me as a private consultant. He spent a ton of money because he said, hey, I need to reach 1 million people. Well, guess what? I went out, I got him 1 million views in 6 days. And as a result of this video going so viral, he actually landed himself a television appearance on London Live TV. Because his video went so viral, he was able to actually get on TV in front of tons of people and talk about what he does and his mission and all that cool stuff. And so this bonus is valued at $2,497. That's a fraction of what Lawrence actually invested to get me to push the buttons and do this for him. But he was very gracious enough to let me actually do the screen recordings while I set up his entire campaign, while I edited his entire video from scratch. And so you literally get the behind the scenes peek at all of this, and you're able to basically go out there and copy it to do it yourself if you want to go ahead and get 1 million views. So that's all in here. It's a really cool bonus. It's all step-by-step on how I did this in less than a week, which is really awesome. Number 4, editing essentials. I think that most of you probably didn't go to film school. Neither did I, right? Yet I was somehow able to get over 100 million views on these videos. It's because I learned how to streamline the editing process. My videos are not fancy. I do, probably 6 or 7 things really well. That's it. Very simple things, but very important elements and psychological elements to get more people to want to like and comment and share. So this is a very basic, very easy editing course. I teach you how to do all of this in a software that's like $50, super affordable. And then I also, if you are trying to be more advanced, which most of you don't need to, but I also teach the same exact course in a separate software called Adobe Premiere Pro, which is, you could literally make a Hollywood movie with it. But you get both of those. So you choose which path you want to go. If you want to just learn the basics, or if you want to get more advanced, you can choose that for you. And I will say this, a lot of my chiropractic clients that I worked with, a lot of the people who are now going through this exact same system now from Dr. Porter's event not too long ago, they're having their assistants or someone on their team do all of the editing for them and actually go through the whole course for them and implement it. You can probably get through it in like a weekend if they binge watch it, and then they go ahead and they do this for you. So this doesn't have to be a ton of work, and you can literally offload, and I would highly recommend that you delegate all of this. So here's what you're going to get. You get the Facebook Famous System. You get the 30,000 fans in 30 days quick start webinar to get you going. You get the 3 greatest hits webinars, and you get the road to 1 million views training. So the total value of all of that is $10,073. And I realize that is a significant amount of money, but I will say I also back it up. I put my money where my mouth is. I have a 1 year and 1 million view guarantee. And you can read it on the screen right there if you're watching along on the webinar. But in essence, you go ahead, you get on board with the Facebook Famous System. You go through all the training modules. You actually implement it. You have to actually do the work. This isn't a get rich quick kind of thing, but you make all the moves. If after 1 year, you're as much as 1 view short of 1 million views, we will give you 100% of your money back. No questions asked. My team will go ahead. We'll look at the work you did. We'll tally up your views. If you're less than even one view away, we give you a full refund. And that's how sure I am that this is going to work for you, because I haven't had a failure yet. Now, if all this did was get your BrainTap offering out to 1 million people around the world, which I guarantee you, by the way, is it worth the $10,000? Well, I mean, would you pay $10,000 to reach 1 million people? I know I would, especially when I was first starting at this game. What about it if it gave you massive credibility and opened up once in a lifetime opportunities? Is it worth the $10,000? Well, I mean, think about this. I was able to work with the Ellen DeGeneres show because of this following that I built on social media. You know, Lawrence, one of my students, got on TV. I mean, do you know how much people would actually pay for that airtime and for that exposure? Probably way more than $10,000. You can't even buy your way into working with Ellen at this point. So I think it's worth it all day long. What about if it also empowered you to multiply your BrainTap revenue or your practice this year? Is it worth the $10,000? I mean, if you think about it, if this could take you from selling 1 BrainTap device per month to, 10, 20 a month, to me, it's worth it all day long. Now, I also have a couple more bonuses real quick. Bonus number 5, the Fans for Life training, teaching you how to nurture these fans long-term and turn them into customers instead of letting that audience and that sort of golden goose die out on you. Really important. Number 6, this is my complete master Facebook marketing system as well. So Facebook Famous is my other big system that teaches you how to go viral, get your message out to millions of people, right? Grow your fan base. But Master Facebook Marketing actually shows you how to monetize, how to then take this audience, run targeted Facebook ads, do things like retargeting. There's so much cool stuff in here. I mean, I'll give you a quick example. One of the things that I show you how to do, imagine if you had your patient list, okay, your email list, whatever it might be. Let's just say your patient list for the last month of all the people that stepped foot in your office. I teach you just one of the methods, how to upload this list to Facebook. Facebook finds that person based on their email address and matches it to their Facebook profile. And now all of a sudden, instead of sending them an email follow-up, which most people aren't reading these days, now, let's say a week after they leave your office, they're scrolling in their newsfeed, they see you pop up in their newsfeed, and it's just a thank you video. And you say, hey, this is Dr. So-and-so. I just wanted to say we really enjoyed having you in the office recently. If you need anything or if there's anything I can do to help, please, please, please let us know. We are always here for you, right? How crazy is that? You have that ability right now on Facebook, but most people don't understand how to do these really cool things. And so it's all in the master Facebook marketing system. And then bonus number 7, which is really awesome, Dr. Carney, who was at the event, he's actually the one who introduced Dr. Porter and I. He made a done-for-you webinar. This webinar is literally all about BrainTap. And so I know some of you, you don't like to sell, you don't like to be, pitchy or anything like that. You literally go through these slides, and as long as you can read, you're able to, at the end, get people desired enough about BrainTap, build up that desire so much that they just naturally, often feel like buying and investing right there on the spot. And so this webinar is specifically designed as a sales presentation, but I don't even want to use that word because it's just a seamless interaction for how to educate that consumer, whether they're coming into your office or whether you're driving traffic from Facebook to this webinar. So what you're going to get, just a quick recap. I know we're going fast. The Facebook Famous System, the 30,000 fans in 30 days webinar, the 3 greatest hits webinars, the road to 1 million views, editing essentials, the fans for life training, master Facebook marketing, and Dr. Carney's done for you webinar. And the total value of all of this is $15,654. And I realized that, believe me, it is a lot of money. I get that. But, if you think about it, right, if money was no concern and we just got rid of the amount for just a second, do you see the value in this, right? Do you actually get that social media is going to be your golden ticket this year? I hope you do, because whether you are on board or not, it doesn't matter to me. One way or another, you're going to have to figure this out. You have to master this game, because if you're not learning about social media, if you're not using it effectively, I'm telling you, it's unfortunate, but you are going to be left behind this day and age, right? Look what Netflix did to Blockbuster. There's countless examples of companies getting squashed because unfortunately they don't understand the digital game. So I would say you can't afford not to do this. But here's the deal, and we're going to do something special, which I did offer at the summit. Dr. Porter did want me to do this again for you. Just for you guys, this whole package, which the first time I've ever put all this together in one package was at the summit, is not $15,654. You get everything for $3,997. That's it. That's the total investment for everything, for all these trainings where I literally hold your hand through this process. And we have students that joined just recently at the summit that are now going through this. And one of them just sent me a message yesterday. I want to get this right. Her likes are up on her page 1,100% since the event. This is all in a week. And her post engagement is up 521%. She got 1,000 views like her first week out of the gate, and she's just getting started in this. So believe me, this works, and it is really going to help you. And think about this for a second. If you were going to reach 1 million people on TV, right? Again, I guarantee you 1 million people. If TV is your brilliant strategy, okay, it costs a lot more than that. You have to pay an ad agency to come up with the commercials, $15,000. Production's going to cost you $30,000 for the videographers, the editors, the sound engineers. The talent alone, just to have people act in this commercial, at least $10,000. And these are lowball numbers. If you're a big brand, these numbers get into the millions. And then think about this. To reach 1 million people on TV, you're going to have to pay the TV network just to show that commercial. And that's $21,000, because without getting too technical, the average CPM right now, which means cost per thousand on TV, is $21. So if you want to reach 1 million people, it's $21,000. So if TV is your get BrainTap out there to the masses this year, you're in it for probably a minimum of $76,000. And that's a lot of money. Or you could get my entire Facebook Famous package that we just shared with you. You can literally own the audience in your pocket. you can have that TV network there. Anytime you want to reach those people, you push a button and you don't have to pay 21 grand every time you want to post. That's free to reach those people. And I teach you step by step how to do it. And it's only $3,997. That's it. Now, there is something very special. This is the link on the screen right now. And for those of you listening in, on the website itself, we are able to track when you visit it. We do want people who are very serious about this. So if you're serious about this and using social media to get your message out to millions of people, I really want to help you do this. The link is www.jonjaques.com/BrainTap. So it's johnjakes.com/BrainTap. And when you go to this link, for those of you who are serious, because we do want people who take action, it's not advantageous for me if you're just going to get this and never open it. I want success stories. I want to be able to actually help people. So if you take action within 24 hours after visiting that link, you're actually going to save $1,000. And this is something that we're only doing for you guys. Dr. Porter really wanted me to extend this offer. And so you are only going to have to invest $2,997, but that's if you're serious. So that's everything that I have for you guys. I hope you learned a lot. And regardless of whether we're going to be working together and communicating or not, I really want you to take what we talked about in this call and put it into action. You will absolutely see results with the quick tips that I just shared with you. But if you're ready to fast track this, if you really want the guarantees and you want to reach a lot of people, I think this entire system is exactly what you need. So thanks so much, Dr. Porter. Once again, really appreciate you opening up and trusting me to deliver for your audience. I know that it really means a lot to me, and I know that you take this very seriously. So thanks again, and if there's anything else I can do for you guys, please let me know.
Well, that was great, John. And for those listening that are thinking, gosh, should I do it or not? Go to the website, check it out, take action, do it, because think about it. There's 1,900 of us out there in practice right now doing BrainTap. What if we all got 1 million likes this year? We'd be up there with the big brands. People wouldn't have to explain what BrainTap is. People would be coming into your office saying, hey, I understand you have BrainTap here. I want to do it. I want to buy one for home use. I want to click on your link, get it. This is a way that we can all leverage the BrainTap universe. Instead of me going out to 43 shows a year, talking to a couple hundred people at a time, it's going to take me forever. So I'm on board. Most of you know Andrew, who's our social media expert. He's going through this course. We're working on it together. We've actually set aside time in the office to go over this course an hour a day. Our whole staff is taking it because this is serious. If you're not doing social media right now, you're not doing anything. And for those chiropractors, I know that half our group isn't chiropractors, but for chiropractors, 5% of your audience, that's all the people out there in the world that do chiropractic. But he's saying, even with this, the retargeting of Facebook, you probably will never have to advertise again for those patients because you can stay in front of them. They're going to know, hey, here's a guy that can do it. Most of you have tremendous stories in your office. Let's work on getting those stories turned into these little mini videos. And let's start sharing the miracles that are happening out there with BrainTap and with your practices, because a lot of you are doing some other things. We're just one component in your practice. This is a way we can all work together, share the information, and it's done through social media. So, John, congratulations. This is a great system. When I saw you present it to the group, I thought, wow, only 8%. We had about 200 doctors there, but only 8% of the BrainTap universe was present. So we need to get the other 90% of them on board with this. And like you said, it is, once you know the formula, get a staff person to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe even incentivize them. You're going to see an uptick in your practice, an uptick in your money. Give them a way to earn a little bit more money. It's a great little program. So thanks again. And we're going to get this out to everyone. And I hope once you've heard it, you take action. This is not some people go, I'm going to see if this internet thing's real. Well, I'm going to tell you it is real. People are doing it. Your competition down the road is doing something. You should be doing something yourself. There's plenty of business out there, but if they don't know you exist, the worst thing that can happen is you go into business without any marketing or advertising. And, you know, I personally, we used to spend $6 million a year in advertising when we had our franchise company. I had 7 locations, and, you know, we were doing about $4.5 million our centers, but we were advertising for 108 locations. And we were spending a lot of money, and we weren't even touching anything. If those 108 locations were getting 1 million viewers or likes, and they don't go away, guys. So this is a market you can continue to educate and market to. So any closing remarks, John, before we end the call today?
No, just very grateful for the opportunity, and yeah, really look forward to those of you who are on board, to helping you through this process, to serving you. I'll be there over email, you know, to answer any questions. You'll get all that info. But, you know, I really want to create more wins, especially out of this community. We're already seeing some incredible things happen, and they've been at this. Some of them just opened the box, right? Or just opened the login like a week ago, and they're already seeing results. So would love to get you on board with that crew. And literally, the sooner you take action, probably the better, not just but mainly for the group's sake, right? Because if you get in on this now, the fact that you have a wave of people that are already on board, they're just a little bit ahead of you. You'll be able to catch up. And one thing I didn't mention here, but you'll be getting for free too, we have a private Facebook group just for people who are on board with this. So we've kind of created, you know, a BrainTap mastermind here. And so the faster you're on board, the more you can now network and work with those other people and bounce ideas off of each other to help everyone win. Because like I said, you guys are a team here. You're not in competition. You need to be able to help each other and support each other to get this out to a lot of people this year.
So go to Facebook, type in #BrainTap. You can see some of the videos that are out there. You can see my videos that we're putting out there. Get involved. Let's start spreading the word and do it through your social media. It's, like you said, it's virtually free. You have some upfront investment, but, you know, this is an education. Once you learn this, you're going to own this information. You're going to own your town, your clinic, and start driving business to it. So again, thanks, John. We're going to get this out. Tune in to next week to the Business Journal. This has been a great show, and let's take action, guys. Let's change the world one person at a time. Thank you.